Warning, I do not own most or perhaps all of the images used in this review. These images are used purely for demonstrative and or humorous purposes. Thank you for understanding. Hello and welcome to my first review. Christmas has come and along with it, glorious Steam sales. One of the things that showed up for me was a little game called Anomaly 2. So let's check it out. Developed by 11-bit Studios, who also developed this War of Mine, it was released on the 15th of May 2013. It claims, in loud letters, to be a Tower Defence versus Tower Defence real-time strategy game. Reviews on Steam are positive, based on 401 reviews at this moment, and it has earned a nice 77 on Metacritic. It also scored the Games Radar 25 Best Games of All Time, Video Game Writers Best of PAX, and Best of Show PAX Award RTS Guru. Rather impressive to say the least. An interesting observation is that while the game can be bought on Steam, it can also be bought on Apple Store and Google Play. This point piqued my interest because, at first glance, it seemed as if I bought an app ported to the computer, and yet it has so many awards. Is it a legendary masterpiece worthy of its praise, or a weird app port that got hit with a hype train? Let's see. On another note, the game is available in 6 languages, though only English has full interface, audio and subtitles. 5 other languages have an interface and subtitles, which is nice, and these languages are French, German, Spanish, Polish and Russian. Another nice detail is that this game is available on Windows, Mac OS X and even SteamOS and Linux, and it needs only very low minimal requirements. If you have a machine less than 5 years of age, it should work. For those like me that obsess over these things, that's any 2-core 2.8 GHz CPU, any 2 GB of RAM, and any graphics card of greater than 512 MB. 3 GB of hard drive space is also needed. The story, in a simple and unspoiled way, is the continuation of that of the previous game. It's relatively stock. Basically, in the first game, a race of aliens called the Machines, I know, very original, showed up and fought the people of Earth. The Earthlings won. However, they showed up again only 3 years later and somehow eradicated human life globally. How they did this considering humanity kicked their asses only 3 years earlier, your guess is as good as mine. But it might be something to do with the fact that the Earth is now a frozen wasteland. Anyhow, we now use the biggest, shiniest, most future-y tech we have to kick the machines off the planet. As stories go, it's fairly generic, but it's not the game's main focus, and it's done well enough to give it a good pass. Sometimes a character is what makes the game. Unfortunately, a lot of these characters are generic soldier. We don't even see most of their faces, and they have generic masculine voices. At the beginning of the game, we get to play as Captain Poise. His design is nice, if again a tad generic, and he's barely different from the soldiers in terms of voice. At the end of the first level, he dies. I should feel something, but he's just too generic for me to connect to. Add to this the fact that he plays a role, and presumably a big role, in the previous games, should make me feel that I really care about him, but I just don't. The only character in that level that begins to get me connected to the world is General Roberts, who, again, is generic, but he really pulls the feeling of a man from a dying world, tired but determined. The next level introduces our main cast, our avatar, First Lieutenant Simon Lynx, who we don't actually see at this point, and his voice is very generic, though what he says is actually quite interesting, and his worries do shine through. His commanding officer, Colonel Ellen Bolt, is the next appearance we see. Colonel Bolt is the first character to show deviations from the generic, though she is still fairly standard. She genuinely looks like a badass, with a scar, military-grade hair, the works. Her tone is great, she sounds like an officer. In the middle of the level, a VR simulation by the way, the VR begins to glitch and as the convoy's fallen under attack. She, quite calmly, instructs us to continue training as she can deal with it. And she does. It does damage the simulator, but still, she's a certified badass. This is good, considering that, as RCO, she'll be talking a lot in this game. Of course, she does need our help after an ambush, but she still holds her own for a good long while. The game has a somewhat unique style. Each level consists of what is essentially an escort mission. Move with your vehicles and utilize your combat suit's prowess, which include, but are not limited to, healing your units and sending decoy signals. The game has a simplistic, yet very effective and professional HUD system. The HUD lets you know what powers you have, the health of your and your opponent's units, and the rate of fire for units with variable rates of fire. The combat suit's powers are not unlimited. You must collect uses of the powers from destroyed enemy units. Additionally, to upgrade units or get new ones, you must spend Corosium, an in-game currency, which, again, can be obtained from defeating units, or can be found in the ground. The difficulty is fairly fair, as long as the player remembers all the mechanics the game lays out. As the player progresses, they unlock more and more units to use. There are many achievements in-game to enhance the experience. The game has a great tense atmosphere. This is a cold, barren, post-apocalyptic planet. The environments are quite incredible considering that this game is from 2013. Perfect red mist and deserted urban expanses make this game look beautiful. The musical score is fairly generic, but hey, it's well done and does fit the tone. It is a good game. Very generic, but hey, there's nothing new under the sun, right? The game is a masterpiece. But it's not a computer game. It's a phone game on a computer. So it isn't too deep or complex, but you know what? It doesn't need to be. I had a lot of fun with this one. Anyone who enjoys real-time strategy should probably check this one out, at least briefly. And if you're new to the genre, somehow, and have ever thought, can you have a good escort mission? Well, it's a nice way to enter the style. Overall, a thumbs up from me. So yes, my first video. Now you may notice, if you look around the channel, that it seems a tad bit barren, even though it's only got a couple of episodes on it. The reason for this is simply because I do not have time to make this channel as good as it could be. I am not the best of artists, and creating some good channel art or some good back pages or whatever takes time. So I decided to turn this disadvantage into an advantage by inviting you guys to show off what you can do. Send me your stuff, like your art, your animation, etc., to my email address, and if I show it, I will credit you in the description of any video that it pertains to. So if it's channel art, any video within the period of that channel art's use will have you credited at the end in this section. So show the internet what you can do. Free advertisement. It's always a good thing. And I will see you in the next video.